Good morning, everybody. It is currently 6 a.m. There is a duck just sitting in the middle of the road. Excuse you, Mr. Duck. Quack, quack, I see you quacking. Okay, anyway. So, 6 a.m. I'm cold. Really cold. And tired. But I am on my way to the hospital for testing for baby number 3. I have to get some tests run because my ultrasound didn't go quite as planned yesterday. So if you didn't watch the video on that, definitely go check that out and up in the iCard, wherever. And you can watch us talk about the ultrasound and everything. There are some issues with the baby that makes them think that I may be developing gestational diabetes. Now I'm 32 weeks and what's today, Tuesday, 3 days. So I'd be developing it really, really late, but I have had a lot of different signs of gestational diabetes, and the ultrasound seems to lead them to believe that I have gestational diabetes, even though I passed my 1-hour test. So, yeah, that's kind of how that's going. I did, do my Googling last night. They always tell you never to Google everything or anything, and but anyway, I did just Google it to see who else has had those issues, and I found people on pregnancy discussion boards from a couple years ago, like 2014, 2015, stuff like that, that had similar issues, and it did come back saying they had gestational diabetes. And there were a few that it came back that they didn't, but basically what has happened is the baby is very large. It's like 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds larger than it needs to be, which in the first place is really crazy because my 2 girls, well, they were 7 pounds when they were born, so they weren't like big, but they weren't small. But the baby is very large and its stomach is over the 99th percentile. And even whenever I was looking online for people, their babies were between like the 80th and the 90th percentile for stomach size. And my baby's stomach size is like 100. It's like the biggest. Like, it's crazy. So, I don't know what that means as far as the baby's actual health or like how healthy the baby will be once it's out. They didn't really talk to me about that, if that makes a difference at all. But basically from what I know is that that's kind of where like the glucose is stored for the baby. So I don't know if that has anything to do with like maybe if I don't have gestational diabetes, that maybe there will be a problem with the baby having diabetes. I'm not sure. To me that would make kind of a little bit of sense if the baby is storing too much glucose, but I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a doctor, so these are all questions that I'd have to ask my doctor. But if any of you guys have had this issue or know of this issue or have any knowledge of it, whatever, go ahead and leave me a comment down below about what you know or what you think or whatever. But I am now headed to the hospital. It is the 3-hour glucose test. So hopefully they still have the lemon lime flavor because I'm allergic to all of the other flavors of the sugary concoction stuff that they give you. I can't have any of the other flavors. I can only have the lemon lime. So hopefully they have that in stock, and I will be there for 3 hours. It's going to start at 7 a.m. And then Danny is going to have to go into work late today because I won't be done until 10 o'clock at the earliest. And then I have another hour drive home. So this is going to be like a whole 5-hour ordeal. It's an hour there. I have to be there for 3 hours, and it's an hour drive home. So my day is going to be super long. Really, really long today. But Okay, anyway, I've been talking to you guys for like far too long now, so I will see you guys soon. We are at the hospital, so let's go in and sit around for 3 hours. Alrighty, we are out of here. Got my last one done. It's been quite the adventure. It didn't actually seem as long as I thought it would, and I think it's probably because I was editing videos for YouTube. So I edited 2 videos while I was in there, and they each took an hour. And then I edited the thumbnails in the last hour, so I think that's probably why it didn't seem so bad. I guess I can kind of go over what this whole experience is like, because I'm sure if you are watching this and you have to do the 3-hour glucose test, that you could possibly be watching this to see what all is involved with doing it. So for the 3-hour glucose test, at least how it's done here, I'm in Pennsylvania. You have to schedule it at the hospital, and mine started at 7 a.m. So you come in and you have to fast for 10 hours before you do the test, before you start it. So I had to fast starting at 9 p.m. last night. And then we ended up coming in, and they pricked my finger, and basically like how somebody with diabetes would test their blood sugar, where they prick their finger and then they use the little reader. And the reason they did that was because if my blood sugar was already too high, then I couldn't take the test. So they have to do a blood draw as well, like an initial blood draw, but they didn't even want to do the blood draw if your blood sugar was already too high. So they did the finger prick to make sure that my blood level was okay, or my sugar level was okay. Then they drew my blood, and that was the starting number. So that was what we basically started with. And then I had to drink the glucose drink, the sugary drink that everybody always complains about. So I drank that, and they give you 5 minutes to drink it, and it only takes me like 30 seconds, because seriously, this is the 4th time I've done it now in the past 3 years. So I'm used to it. And then you sit for an hour, and you just kind of wait, and once that hour's up, they bring you back over, you get your blood drawn again, you wait for another hour, they draw your blood again, you wait for the 3rd hour, and then you get your blood drawn again. So altogether, you end up getting your finger pricked 1 time, and you end up getting 4 blood draws for the entire 3 hours. So you get 1 at the beginning, 1 at 1 hour, 1 at 2 hours, 1 at 3 hours. And that is essentially what happens. And then they will take all of your blood sugar levels, your glucose levels from those 3 hours, and they will calculate them all to see if you end up having gestational diabetes. And so far I've only gotten my initial one back, which was in an okay level. And it was a little bit on the higher end, but it was still like in an okay level. And my first hour came back as I was leaving, and I was only like 13 points away from failing. So we'll see what happens with the rest of these results. I'm really not sure if I'm going to pass. I'm mentally prepared to fail. Everything really points in the direction that I'm going to fail this, and that I do have gestational diabetes. But there's always a chance that I don't. But like I said, a lot of the findings and evidence and whatever you want to call it, the information that we have really points to me having it, and that I developed it later in the pregnancy. So anyway, we will see. Today is Teacher Appreciation Day, so I am headed out to get a buy one get one free pizza at one of our pizza places here. It's called Mod Pizza. It's basically the like Chipotle or Subway of pizza places. You get to make your pizza and they cook it there and everything like that for you. So I'm gonna go there because they are doing a buy one get one free if you are a teacher, and I have my teaching badge with me, and I am going to get a buy one get one free pizza. But Danny's at home, so he's eating the free one, but you know. Anyway, that is what is happening, so I will keep you guys updated with the results as I get them. Okay, so I'm like starting to shake. I'm really dizzy. I'm getting a headache. I can feel my blood sugar starting to drop. I still don't have the results from any of my other tests, but I stopped and I got Mod Pizza, so I don't know if you guys can see that. I got the pizza because it's Teacher Appreciation Day. Oh, I'm on like fire. I'm like having hot flashes right now. But I'm gonna stop and get a donut because like I need a donut. Like I want a donut. I'm gonna die if I don't get a donut. Like that is basically how I feel right now. So this test is having really weird side effects for me because if you know me, like I don't do sugar. I don't do a lot of sugar. We would get like ice cream and stuff like that with the kids, but like I am not somebody who would be like, I need to stop and have a donut. Like that is not at all how I am. I am like, I don't need a donut. Like that's way too much sugar, and like I need a donut. Like I need like a chocolate covered donut, like a glazed chocolate covered donut, and I need like more than one of them. I need like 3 of them. So I'm stopping to get a donut. It's bad. Like it's bad, guys. This is really bad. This is horrible. Look at that. It's so bad. Can you guys see the camera shaking? Oh my god! But this is like the best donut ever.